You got any Japanese girlfriend?
I did. I had a lot of Japanese girlfriends. That was my fuckboy face.
So you are the fuckboys we were mentioning.
Back then, yeah.
Welcome back to Sean and Shiba. This is Chris again.
Hello.
And this is Sean again. 今天我们要讲一讲在美军已经服役的状况。OK， 因为大家都讲啊，美军超强的啊，美军怎么样怎么样，真的是这样子吗？我们先看看第一个，美军里面到底在生活上面是怎么样子。好 ，How long have you been served?
7 years.
Wow, that's a long time.
Yeah.
You were serving in the army or
Air Force. Air Force.
So were you a pilot?
No, I worked for pilots. I worked on like fighter jets.
So you fixed it? You fixed it? The fighters?
Yeah, fixed fighter jets.
What is it like to live in base?
It's pretty. I mean, it's almost pretty similar to living anywhere. Like, there's housing. Depending on if you're married or not, you'll have like. If you're not married, you live in like a dorm, and you may or may not have a roommate, but don't have like a small kitchenette and a bathroom or something. And then if you are married, you live in like a small little house on base usually.
So you don't have to stay in barracks.
You do if you're not married. Yeah.
So at least you have some private lives.
Yeah. But like the thing of it is that a lot of people get married just to move off. So that's why you always hear about military guys like, oh, like I just met you, let's get married. Like it's a very true thing.
Girls, 女孩们不要干这种事情 ，OK? So they married so they can stay off the base.
Exactly.
Okay. What is it to live with among your other privates or soldiers, like in the barracks? Is it really like the jarhead?
Yes and no. This idea of like people, like if one person does something wrong, everybody suffers. So in the dorms, when you're, or the barracks or wherever it is, if somebody does something wrong in there, then everybody kind of gets in trouble. But there's also a lot of fun to be had too. Like I remember one time we were in the middle of a typhoon. That was when I was in Japan, in Okinawa.
Oh, you were stationed in Japan. Oh, okay.
So I remember a typhoon was coming and you're not allowed to leave. So we got like a bunch of plastic and put it down the hallways and made a slip and slide with just water. And so we just slid down the hallways, and that's only stuff you can do in like.
It sounds like kindergarten instead of.
It's barracks. A bit of both, but like then everybody like. It's also kind of shitty too, because then people like will steal your shit out the laundry, like because we have like unified laundry machines. So it's like good and bad, but I don't know.
How many different bases were you stationed?
2 were in Texas, 1 was in Arizona, and then my first base was in Italy. So I was there for like 2 years almost.
It sounds very romantic.
It was actually. I lived at the base of this mountain. It was really, really beautiful.
Wow.
Italy and then Japan.
4 years in Japan.
Yeah.
Do you speak Japanese?
I speak a very small amount.
You got any Japanese girlfriend?
I did. I had a lot of Japanese girlfriends. I was a fuckboy face.
So you are the fuckboys we were mentioning.
Back then. Back then.
So Japanese girls, 日本女生请小心. Watch out, this wanted man.
Did they understand you in Chinese when you said it in Japanese?
Girls, ジハンです. I forgot all the Japanese I've learned, sorry. So is it really that good to stay in the military of the United States? Is it relaxing?
It's not relaxing per se, but it can be good. I mean, you don't have to worry about your food. You don't have to worry about where you're going to live. You have health insurance. You have life insurance if you want. So it can be it's like a decent life. So it's a decent life, but it's very stressful. Very, very stressful, depending on the job that you do.
Why is it stressful?
One, anybody that outranks you is technically your boss.
Yeah.
Which is not necessarily a good thing, because they can tell you to do like opposing things and it doesn't make sense.
Oh, I see that.
And then just because someone outranks you doesn't necessarily mean they know the best method or are smarter than you or...
Usually no.
No, it just means that they outrank you and they've been there longer. So it's kind of like...
It sounds like military are always the same thing.
Kinda, like the stupid people kind of rise to the top sometimes. Because if you think about it, smarter people wouldn't like stay in a situation where like very obvious things that are dumb we continue to do just because we've been doing it. And and that's kind
because
of
it's a kind of tradition.
yeah.
They don't position you based on your talent, but on the demand of the organization or the military of the unit.
Which makes some sense, but it doesn't really help you as a person to do better, because if you're not good at it when you get into it and you make it your job, it's like, well then, what do you want me to do? Like, this is just my job. You forced me into this one particular like hole of doing this. So.
Okay, I see that. So do you enjoy it?
I did. The good definitely outweighed the bad. It's not, sometimes when you have a shitty job, it's not about like what you do and who you work with. So I had a lot of cool friends and we did crazy stupid stuff. And
I mean, a kindergarten.
Yeah, so it was fun. It was fun, but would I do it again? No.
So what's the craziest thing you ever done during your military career?
Give me 1 second.
Take your time.
I've done so much. I had to really think about it.
So next part we're going to talk about something even more sensitive, more provocative. So I'll be coming right back.
Taiwan, for one, because it's so small, it might not really help us to fight against whoever is invading Taiwan. On top of that, we also have another base closer, with a lot of military in Okinawa, in Japan. So it might not be like the best decision to defend Taiwan.